We begin after previous events in the Wonderlands, a world within the fantasy-themed tabletop role-playing game Bunkers and Badasses, controlled by Bunker Master Tiny Tina, who can alter it at will, and played by the heroes Valentine, Fret, and the newbie, who are in the midst of fighting their way through an undead skeleton army to its leader, the evil Dragon Lord. Upon reaching him, the Dragon Lord uses his soul energy magic to attack the adventuring trio and re-raise his undead army, but is stopped by Queen Buttstallion, the magical diamond binacorn ruler of the Wonderlands, wielding the Sword of Souls. The Dragon Lord is then imprisoned for centuries, and the game begins anew, this time with the newbie being assigned the role of Fatemaker, leader of the party of heroes. The Fatemaker is summoned by Buttstallion to the Glade of Helpful Tutorials within the Snoring Valley, and is guided through the area by her magic. The Fatemaker encounters a gang of skeletons and their leader, Ribula, who has plans to awaken the Dragon Lord, whose tomb is hidden inside of a crypt below the nearby ruins of Castle Herefast. Despite defeating Ribula, the Dragon Lord is freed and escapes, heading to seek revenge against Buttstallion. The Fatemaker then journeys to Brighthoof, capital city of the Wonderlands, which is already under siege by the skeleton army of the Dragon Lord. After assisting Paladin Mike, the head knight of Buttstallion's Diamond Guard, in defeating the skeleton army, the Fatemaker is tasked by Buttstallion to retrieve the Sword of Souls from the nearby graveyard of Shattergrave Barrow. The Fatemaker, aided by Buttstallion, storms the graveyard, fights her way through the undead, and after defeating the Zomboss, retrieves the sword. Charging the sword by absorbing the Zomboss's spirit into it, the Fatemaker returns to Brighthoof and places the sword into the central fountain, which magically restores the city with its soul energy. For her efforts, Buttstallion decides to make the Fatemaker an official Knight of the Realm, but before she's able to, the Dragon Lord reappears, steals the sword, and uses it to decapitate Buttstallion, killing her. Afterward, he again escapes, taking both the sword and Buttstallion's head back to his base, the Dark Citadel known as the Pyramid. The Fatemaker is then tasked with crossing the ocean on a ship, dubbed the Balzania, in order to stop the Dragon Lord before he uses the sword's power to destroy the Wonderlands. Before boarding the Balzania, the Fatemaker is informed by the Dockmaster that she'll need to have it blessed by a bard, or it will be destroyed by the ocean monster Drill, whose chains are the sea. After locating Torg the Barbarian, the Fatemaker assists him in defeating the Banshee, freeing the Fairy Punchfather, and restoring power to Torg's magic lute. Meeting Torg back at the Balzania, he dispels the bad vibes of a divided party which surround the Fatemaker with a musical jam session blessing, causing Valentine and Fret to reconcile after their recent series of arguments. However, the blessing becomes too powerful, destroying the Balzania and summoning several gigantic magic missiles, resulting in a massive explosion that destroys the ocean, forcing the Fatemaker to venture forth on foot along the now exposed ocean floor instead. While traveling through multiple dangerous areas on the way to the Pyramid, the Dragon Lord secretly communicates with the Fatemaker alone, revealing that he's become aware of the Wonderland's true nature as a fictional game world ruled over by Tina. He explains that his real plan is to harvest a massive amount of soul energy in order to use the Sword of Souls to sever Tina's control over the Wonderlands, as he views her as unfit to rule. Arriving within the Hall of Heroes, located at the foot of the Pyramid, the Fatemaker is forced to battle and kill the Nightmare, the Dragon Lord's undead construct, created by fusing Buttstallion's head to a massive, armored, skeletal body and imbuing it with soul energy. Before the Fatemaker ascends the Pyramid, the Dragon Lord explains his full backstory to her in detail. He reveals that he was originally Tina's personal hero character, a Fatemaker called the Dragon Knight, back when she was first introduced to Bunkers and Badasses by the Note Taker, also known as Bunker Master Roland, a soldier from previous events. However, after she chose to have the Dragon Knight use the Sword of Souls to blow up all the villains in the world, indiscriminately killing thousands of people, Roland changed the Dragon Knight's alignment from good to evil, infuriating Tina, causing her to stop playing and storm off in a rage. Vowing to only play as a Bunker Master from then on, she created the Wonderlands, a world where only heroes win, and the Dragon Lord, now an infinitely recurring villain, always loses. Eventually, the Dragon Lord became self-aware, realized his actions weren't his own, and swore vengeance on Tina. The Fatemaker fights her way to the top of the Pyramid, and after a fierce battle against the Dragon Lord and his servants, Bernadette the Dracolich, along with reanimated wyverns and skeletons, the Fatemaker succeeds in defeating them. Taking the Sword of Souls from the Dragon Lord, the Fatemaker uses it to fully revive Buttstallion, and spares the Dragon Lord instead of killing him. The Fatemaker is officially dubbed a Knight of the Realm by Buttstallion, who also sentences the Dragon Lord to 200 years of imprisonment within her castle for his crimes, where he must stand guard over the entrance to the Chaos Chamber, which contains the most dangerous and powerful villains in the Wonderlands.